Socorro Planning and Zoning Commission is set to begin. First and foremost, we have been present. The City of Socorro would like to thank everyone and ask for your patience during this difficult time we have been presented with. Everyone, please remember to silence any electronics to avoid sound interruption. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to call disconnection and possible prosecution. In accordance with Section 418.016 of the Texas Government Code, and by order of the Office of the Governor, issued March 16, 2020, the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Socorro will broadcast the meeting scheduled today, Tuesday, October 20th, 2020, at 5:30 p.m. from the City Council chambers located at 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, via live stream in order to advance the public health goal and practice social distancing to slow the spread of the coronavirus, also known as COVID 19. The public that signed up and any presenters will be called upon by the presiding officer during the meeting to speak during the public comment or their agenda item during the meeting following Government Code 551.042. La reunión de la Comisión de Planificación y Zonificación de la Ciudad de Socorro está por empezar. Primeramente, queremos darle las gracias y pedimos su paciencia durante estos momentos críticos que enfrentamos. Favor de poner en silencio todo equipo electrónico para evitar interrupción de sonido. No se va a tolerar ningún tipo de comportamiento perjudicial o revoltoso. A quien no siga estas reglas, su llamada será desconectada y puede ser infraccionado. De acuerdo con sección 418.016 del Código del Gobierno de Texas y por orden de la Oficina del Gobernador, anunciada el 16 de marzo del 2020, la Comisión de Planificación y Zonificación de la Ciudad de Socorro transmitirá su reunión hoy, martes 20 de octubre del 2020 a las 5:30 de la tarde, desde la Sala del Concilio, ubicado en 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, por medio de conferencia telefónica y será transmitida en vivo para avanzar en el objetivo de salud pública y practicar el distanciamiento social, para tomar medidas preventivas para prevenir la propagación del coronavirus, conocida como COVID-19, a los demás y por la seguridad del público. El público y los presentadores serán anunciados por el oficial conduciendo la reunión. Para poder hablar durante la sección de comentario público o después de la discusión del artículo de la agenda por cual se apuntaron, siguiendo las reglas del gobierno 551.042.
You ready? This is Socorro Planning and Zoning Commission, October 20th. It's 5:34. We call this meeting to order.
Item number 2, establishment of quorum. Ernest Gomez,
Yo, here.
David Estrada,
Here.
Arturo Lafuente,
Here.
Andrew Arroyos,
Here.
Enrique Cisneros. We have quorum with 4 commissioners present. Item number 3. Notice to the public. Diana, do we have anyone on the line that would like to speak?
We don't have anyone for public comment. We just have the caller for the agenda item.
Item number 4, consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I have a question. I have a question on the minutes of last week, item number 5, where we were talking about the about allowing structures to go as close as 5 feet to the property lines. That it says on here that the motion was made, but I had made an amendment, and the motion had passed with us agreeing to allow more than 2 structures, I believe, more than 1 structure. If the lot was larger than 1 acre. So that part isn't noted on here. Can we add it?
Yes.
And then my next question is, how does this go forward, or how does it get presented to city council? Is it something that was overlooked, or is the amendment, is that something that shouldn't be on here?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Joe, Planning and Zoning Department. So to answer your question, yes, it's gonna go to council, but right now we did send it to the attorneys for review. Once we get the document back, we're gonna make sure that we include some of the recommendations that you made. However, ultimately, it's up to council to decide if that's gonna be the language that is gonna be included. The attorney is working on the draft to convert it into ordinance format before we take it to council. The reason we didn't put it in the last meeting is because the document is not ready. But hopefully it should be by the next meeting on November, I think.
Yeah, maybe to answer Mr. Davis' question here, the way to do it will be the minutes that you saw here, that you guys can improve them, but with the change that you're saying that it needs to reflect that change on the more than 2 structures on 1 acre. And then you approve the minutes based on that including your amendment that you had last week. So what we'll do then is, when we have the corrected minutes, I'm helping draft the ordinance, so that'll be included in the draft ordinance, then it'll go to city council. So that way you can kind of correct it since it's not in the minutes correctly.
Okay, so then I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for last week with making that correction on item number 5, that there would be more than two structures allowed if it's more than 1 acre.
Thank you,
I
sir.
think we said I had requested a maximum of 5.
Yes, that's
structure.
correct.
So I make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion made by David Estrada to approve with corrections, second by Andrew Arroyos. I'd like to take a vote. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
David Estrada,
Yes.
Arturo Lafuente,
Abstain.
Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
Enrique Cisneros is absent. I have a motion motion carried with 3 commissioners approved. Item number 5, consider and take action on the final plat approval for Sendero Flores Village, being all of tracks 4B and 4C, Socorro Grant, Block 27 for new development.
Good afternoon, commissioners. This is the final plat approval. This property, I'm gonna show it on the screen here real quick. It's located off of Socorro Road. We had already presented the preliminary plat. The intention is to subdivide these 2 tracks into 16 sites. So right now, the improvement plans are being reviewed. Now I'm gonna share you on the screen the final plat. And this is the same thing that was presented with the preliminary plat. I don't know if you have any questions about this document. This subdivision, like I said, is getting reviewed by the city's engineers. The comments have not been submitted to the developer. But we did a preliminary review of the plat and we don't see any issues with it. The Planning and Zoning Department recommends approval.
Do we have somebody that's gonna speak on this item?
Also, to let you know, the engineer, Marvin Gomez, is on the line if you have any questions for the engineer as well.
The only caller on the line is the applicant, sir.
I have a question. The access of those, of this subdivision is going to Alameda?
No, sir. Let me put the aerial map on the screen again. The access to
Yeah,
this
that's the
subdivision is on Socorro Road. And it also has connection to Flor Preciosa, which is a residential subdivision. This is on Silvia Court. Silvia Court is the street that runs in front of the development. So all the lots that they're gonna create are going to be facing Sylvia. There's gonna be a ponding area,
Okay.
and all this will be residential development.
So on looking on the screen, on the left side, that's Socorro Road, right?
Yes, sir.
And how wide is that access to the subdivision? Actually,
So with this plat, the engineer is also dedicating an additional 20 feet of right-of-way. The existing right-of-way is 25 feet. So there's gonna be a total of 45 feet.
but if including sidewalks,
Yes, sir. Sidewalks,
Yes.
curbs, and
Mhm.
gutters. It's gonna have
and the
everything.
sidewalks on properties, property limits or outside the property limits? The
Let me put-
sidewalks.
Let me share the final plat on the screen so you can get a better picture.
The sidewalk, is gonna be located within the dedicated 20-foot additional right-of-way that we're doing for Sylvia.
I mean, once they donate the 20 or 25 feet, is that Sylvia Court gonna have two lines or just one?
So the way it's shown here, you can see they're dedicating 20 feet. This little area will be used for drainage from the street into the pond. So what you see here on the screen, lot 16 will be the ponding area. And then the sidewalks and the curbs will be along the front of the residential properties. And on the preliminary plat, there is a note that says that the sidewalks and the curbs will be installed by the builders. And that makes sense because if the sidewalks get installed before the construction of the homes, then there's a potential for them to get damaged. So they have to be, it's the last thing that should be installed.
Is there any planning from the city of Socorro to have some, like a ponding areas converted in green areas? Park?
I'm sorry, Mr. La Fuente, I didn't understand your question.
The ponding area is gonna be only a ponding area, or they gonna have something to convert in green areas?
No, it's only gonna be a ponding area. It's designed to be a ponding area, and that's the way it's gonna remain. It's part of the public infrastructure that's required for this development.
Yes. How many lots are there?
There's gonna be 15 lots and the pond for a total of 16 sites.
So what's the owner of this land is gonna donate or dedicate 20 feet? What's gonna happen with the next properties going to Socorro?
We don't have an answer to that question because that's outside the scope of this development. We don't know if the owner or the neighbor has any plans for that property. But for the time being, we haven't seen any plans for them. So no, we don't have that answer.
So that's gonna end up leaving a 25-foot right-of-way for that, in front of that one property butting up to Socorro.
Yes, that's correct. This is already an existing road. The scope of this work is only where you see the yellow lines. So this is gonna remain untouched. This is part of a different property. it's not owned or
And-
controlled by
and-
this developer.
Can the city of Socorro do something with those owners, going exit to Socorro? Like, they can, not touch the area? Because in the future, it's gonna be a wider split.
So the amount of traffic that this subdivision, the amount of traffic that will be generated is not enough to seek for some kind of an increase of this right away. And of course, we are gonna ask for traffic impact analysis, but in the meantime, we're not asking for it just because of the pandemic. We understand that if they run the analysis today, the numbers might not be accurate. So keeping this in mind, I don't know if Mr. Gomez has a better answer for regarding the traffic. Since he is a traffic engineer, he could probably explain that better to you. Mr. Gomez?
Well, I mean, it's a really small development, like you said. I mean, normally, you're looking in the range of 100 lots, normally when you require a traffic impact study. Because 100 lots, I mean, that's 100 trips that you're gonna develop for that. In this case, I mean, it's a really small development. I mean, and then I guess I'm curious to know, like, there's that development on the other side, which, I mean, I know it's doing quite a bit of residential homes on the other side of Sylvia, so we're connecting to. I mean, was that something that was required on that? I mean, it sounds like it has a large number of lots they're being developed, accessing to Sylvia.
The audio is bad. I couldn't hear what he said.
Yeah, the question is, I guess there's a development on the other side, quite a large development that's going in there, and it's connecting to Sylvia. Obviously, they have other access points, but was there any traffic impact that is done in that area?
What, Joe, what development is he talking about?
I'm not sure, but I think it's the one on Flor Preciosa. Is that right, Mr. Gomez?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. So this is the second access point. There's also additional access on Diney Rosie. So this is not the only way in and out of this subdivision. There's 2 points where people can access Socorro Road in case there's a closure on one side, there's still access on the other side of the block.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion made by Andrew Arroyos to approve, second by Arturo Lafuente. I'd like to take a vote. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
David Estrada,
Yes.
Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
Enrique Cisneros is absent. Motion is carried with 4 commissioners in favor. Item number 6, Planning and Zoning Commissioners Report.
There's no report.
I have nothing to report.
Item number 7, Planning and Zoning Department Report.
We have nothing to report.
Item number 8, excuse absent commission members.
Make a motion to excuse. I think he just showed up, no?
My apologies. I lost track of time and forgot to log in on time. My apologies.
I make a motion to excuse.
I second.
I have a motion to excuse made by Andrew Arroyos, second by David Estrada. I'd like to take a vote. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
David Estrada,
Yes.
Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
motion carried with 4 commissioners in favor. Item number 9, consider and take action on adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a
Second.
second? I have a motion made by Andrew Arroyos to adjourn, second by David Estrada. I'd like to take a vote. Ernest Gomez,
Yes.
David Estrada,
Yes.
Arturo Lafuente,
Yes.
Andrew Arroyos,
Yes, ma'am.
Enrique Cisneros.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carried with all commissioners in favor. Meeting adjourned at 5:52.
Thank you. Have a good night.
afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.